Today I thought we would read about an insect that we see a lot here in Oklahoma. This is about wasps. Now, wasps are insects because they have 6 legs, they have 3 body parts, and that makes them an insect. So definitely wasps are insects. They happen to be an insect that has wings, of course, antenna, and some wasps even have stingers. So we're going to read about a wasp. Remember, an insect is something that has the 6 legs and the 3 body parts, and we'll talk more about that later. This is about wasp, and I thought this was interesting to read because these are something that we see often here in Oklahoma, whether we see them around our house or whether we see them when we are other places. So we're going to go ahead and read. Look at this. Isn't that an awesome picture? Let me zoom in on it. I think that is so cool. Okay, what are wasps? Wasps are flying insects, and they move their wings quickly. And when I think about them, I think about another one that moves their wings quickly would be maybe a bumblebee. They move their wings pretty quickly. How wasps look. Most wasps have yellow, black, or dark blue bodies. And my mama used to call them things like yellow jackets or things like that when we would see them. Most wasps are about the size of a paperclip. So a small paperclip. They're about the size of a paperclip. Not like the big ones that Miss Hiley uses, but the smaller ones. Wasps have 2 antennae. You can see them right here. 1, 2. And they smell and feel with their antenna. So no nose to smell with. They smell with their antenna. That is interesting, isn't it? How would you like to smell with your antenna? Most female wasps have sharp stingers, and the male wasp do not have stingers. Okay, so you can see back here, it's labeled the stinger. So all the girls are the ones that have the stinger, and most of the boys do not have a stinger. So if you've been stung by a wasp, I've been stung by a wasp, those were probably a girl that stung you, not the boys, because not very many of the boys have stingers. Wasps sometimes use their stingers to kill insects for food. Remember, wasps have to eat too. It's the animal world. Most wasps, though, eat nectar from flowers, just like bees, butterflies, other things like that eat nectar. Some wasps make paper by chewing on wood. Wasps use the paper to build nests. Look at its nest. Many wasps live in each nest. So I've seen these nests around, right? These are the paper ones, and then sometimes the mud daubers will make their nest out of mud. Now, theirs look different than this, the mud daubers do. Some wasps build nests out of mud, and those wasps live alone. So look, let's look back here. This wasp has many different little holes where a wasp can live. This one is a mud dauber, and it lives by itself. So there's just going to be one little hole for that particular wasp to go into. Like I said, my mama calls them mud daubers. Wasps lay eggs in their nest. Young wasps hatch, and they grow in the nest. So look, you can see here. See the eggs? And usually in these papery ones where they've chewed up the wood, usually there's quite a few nests or quite a few wasps on the nest at a time, which makes that particularly dangerous because many of them can sting you at one time. The end. I want you to be looking, especially now, for different insects that you might see in a garden or on your flowers if you have flowers planted outside, or even those dandelions. Remember, we read about dandelions last week, that weed that grows in our yard, and just watch them and see what they do. See if they're eating nectar, see if they're flying from flower to flower, because wasps, bees, butterflies, all of those insects have an important job in our world, and they're fun to watch and observe. All right, I will talk to you later. Remember, watch for those wasps.